just my train of thought behind trades. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the charts. Give me a second here so I can change. This one. All right, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Perfect, bro. So first of all, we're all gonna start on the 4 hour, right? So the 4 hour is where you guys wanna start whenever you guys are looking at anything. All right, you're gonna look from the top, which is the 4 hour. Then you're gonna go down to the 1 hour, and then finally to take your trade, you look at the 15 minute. So to analyze the market, what we're gonna do is just take a look at US 30. Okay. Let me go ahead and hide my drawings real quick. All right. US 30, bro. US 30 has been on an uptrend. Check this out. Look at this crazy uptrend, right? Like I think Leo sent me earlier, there was a trend broken. It was, I think, around here earlier. But in reality, like on the 4 hour, there's no trend broken. You see how I respected it, touched it, and it's coming back up. So,
Now, bro, I drew the trend line from the bottom.
From the bottom, from here,
From no bottom, yeah, right there. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
perfect. So we're still on there. We're still
Yeah,
on
like that, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we're still on there though. In reality, all right. So for a trend line to be, relevant, it has to be touched at least 3 times. So you want to make sure that it gets touched at least 3 times. Like I told you guys, I mean, some of you guys are in the course, some of you guys are not. But whoever's in the course, the first thing I told you in the course is touch 3 times. Touch 3 times can be by three different candles, right? So for example, here and here, it got touched once. Here it got touched, and then here and here. So if this gets broken like this, then yeah, we're definitely looking for some downtrend up. Now, one thing that I did notice was I went to the weekly level on this shit, and look at this thing. For the past like 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's been in an uptrend on a weekly level. Remember, today we're starting a whole brand new week. So every candle you see here is a week, right? So just based on these 3 candles, I'm thinking it's gonna go down. Why? Right? So this week right here, give me a second. This week right here, touch this resistance, close down. This week right here, didn't even get to it. And then this is the week that just passed by now, and it went all the way up here, made a new high, and then rejected and came down. So it could keep consolidating like this on a weekly level. Now on the 4 hour level, right, which is what we care about right now, if it breaks this here, then we're looking at a downtrend, down. Okay. Now my key levels on this, and this is not on the beginner's course, but anybody who has done the one-on-ones with me, these 2 green lines that you guys see here, this is the lowest low, this is the highest high, right? So when this is broken, then I expect even more drops, like significant drops. This right here, see how the other day actually, see how, look at this wick, how it came down here, touched it, and it rejected all the way up, because this level right here, which is the 30,631, is a key level. If it breaks this level, it's gonna be in trouble. Also, obviously, look at this trend line, right? So if it does something like touch the trend line and go up, it's gonna make new highs. Now, anybody who loves, a lot of people in the group love calling out, what do you call it? They love calling out like bull flags and bear flags and all that shit, right? Can anybody tell me what they see here?
Divergence.
No. Look at the look what I'm drawing. Right, I'm gonna draw it out. This is a pennant, right? So it's a pennant. It could be a bull pennant because of all this that we already done. So if you guys pull it up, let me look it up for you guys so you guys can see what I'm talking about, right? So let's go Google pull bull pennant. About pennants. This is what I'm talking about right here. You guys see that? You see it here? Do you see the similarities?
Yes, sir.
All right, so this could be a bull pennant. Again, if it breaks this down here, then it's definitely not a bull pennant anymore, and now it's just looking to downtrend. But as of right now, for me, this shit looks like a bull pennant. So we're looking at entries around the bottom. Let me show you guys another one. This is probably the best picture. Well, here's another one. It's a flag and pennant, basically. Let me see this shit. So what we're looking for is if you guys see basically a rejection of this trend line and a continuation up. So let me show you what I'm talking about, what that would look like, right? So let's say a new candle starts and candles start forming like this. That's just gonna make an all-time high. It's gonna just continue like this, and that's a bull pennant. So that's one thing that I've noticed on US 30. So US 30 right now, I'm watching it to see what it does. Let's go to the 1 hour real quick. Yeah, the 1 hour. Look at that trend has been respected. Oops. So let's take a look. Josh. Okay. So right now, basically, we're looking at it. Even on the 1 hour, we're still looking at that pennant. Like I said, if it does this, that shit comes here, and it starts coming here, doing things like this, it's gonna be looking for all-time high. Okay. Now, a lot of people don't trade US 30 because they don't understand it. Okay. US 30 is 30 different stocks, is an index, okay? Is an index. So what does US 30 mean? US 30 is 30 different stocks, which is these stocks right here, CRM, Verizon, Apple, Disney, Boeing, all those stocks, okay? They're 30 stocks, and they're put into the US 30. How does the price of US 30 come to play? Very simple. So the average of these 3 stocks right here, the average of these 30 stocks right here is the price that we get here. Okay, so that's why a lot of people don't understand sometimes that if US 30 stocks are going down, like Apple, if something goes wrong with Apple, US 30 is gonna drop because Apple, okay, has a large market cap in US 30 because Apple's a large. It's the largest corporation in the stock market. Okay, so I think it just did like a 2 billion market cap, and I think it's going to 3 billion already. So if something goes wrong with Apple, you can bet your ass that US 30 is go wrong. Another thing is also US 30 depends a lot on the stock market, and what happens with the stock market is that if there's a stimulus, right, or something like that can boost the stock. Every time you guys hear a stimulus, and if something gets approved, US 30 is gonna go up. Okay. You know what else is gonna go up? Gold. Gold is also gonna go up. So these are things that you guys gotta take into consideration. Why is gold gonna go up, right? Because what do people do with stimulus money in the US? They fucking buy gold and they buy stupid shit because that's what people do, you know? So when you hear like there's a stimulus coming out, I think now because there's a Democrat, I don't give a fuck who's president, by the way. But because there is a Democrat sweep, we might have a bigger stimulus going on. Because there'll be a bigger stimulus coming out, that's going to cause the stock market to bubble. That's going to cause a lot of stocks to go up, which is going to cause you US 30 to go up. So you got to take into consideration that when you guys are trading US 30, right, you're really trading these 30, the average price of these 30 stocks, of these 30 stocks. So, the next one we'll look at is let's take a look at. Does anybody have any questions about US 30?
I got one. I got a question real quick, bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we should, so like when we're planning on, you know, seeing where US 30 would go, are we solely looking at Apple overall and gold, or are we getting more focused on some other stocks?
What you want to do, is go to, make a, what I did right here, right? Check this out. So I have a list. These are the 30 stocks. Um, Whenever I pull up this US 30 watch list, I see the 30 stocks right here. When I see all this shit in red, that gives me an indication of what's going on. All right. Now, what I recommend you do is you look in Google for the weight, because not every stock in US 30 is weighed the same, right? Some stocks have a heavier influence on US 30. So I believe the heaviest weighted stock is United Health. Let me see. If I'm not wrong, yes, United Health, right? So check this out. United Health is a 7.38% of US 30. Goldman Sachs is 6.4. So these are the top four that will make a change in US 30. Okay, so you can look it up. You can look up in Google what's the heaviest weighted stocks in US 30, and then you can rank them here in your watch list by heaviest weighted. So that basically what this means is that, for example, if these four companies are selling, right, they're selling a lot, this will probably overtake all the other small ones because they weigh the heaviest in the index. Okay, so that's why, what you want to do is have a little watch list like this separately from your forex and stocks, just to see what's going on with US 30.
Right. So, for example, how where are they sitting right now?
Where are they sitting right now?
Yeah.
So UN, let's take a look. Right. So that's also very good to know. So right now, this is United Health, and if we analyze United Health,
Yeah, downtrend for sure.
downtrend. RSI is mid-level on the 4 hour. 1 hour RSI is right there. It could come like down here to like this level right here, right, and then pick back up. Yeah, this level right here, and pick back up. It's definitely gonna fill this gap. So it's gonna come and then pick back up. So what you'll be watching is it's definitely not a downtrend. So it can keep going back down, and if it keeps going back down, US 30 is gonna go back down too. So apart from that, obviously, forex also takes, because remember what forex is just contracts. So the brokers are putting contracts on US 30 too. So also what we trade as forex traders makes an effect on US 30 as well. That's why US 30 opens today at 6 p.m. but stocks don't open officially tomorrow till like 4 a.m. right? But US 30 is moving today, but the main volume of US 30 is stocks. Like one of those stocks I think was in the US 30. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Nike or some shit like that. Yeah, Nike. So check this out. When Nike announced its earnings, it was ridiculous, like ridiculous earnings. Yeah, and guess what? US 30 blew up. So I capitalized on that. I knew Nike was gonna blow it out of the water. US 30 was down that day, and then Nike blew it out the water, and that's it. US 30 bumped up. I think it was like around here somewhere where they're earning. Right here. Look at it right here. Check this out. Look how much Nike went up. Nike went up from $112 all the way to 134 in like a matter of like an hour. It was like some crazy shit. It was insane. So, earnings reports, guys, if you guys don't do stocks, I came from stocks. So earnings reports are every 3 months, okay? Like every 3 to 4 months, because when the quarter ends, the earnings report is the month after, okay? So this month, there's a lot of earnings reports. So what I recommend is just look at some of these companies that are here in US 30 and look up when the earnings report is coming out, especially the heavyweight ones, because that's going to affect US 30 a lot. And that's how I play it too. to know what's coming up. I'm like 80% technical. So as far as like trading, my trading style is like 80% technical. But I do throw in there also, US 30 um, fundamentals, because at the end of the day, you want to know, why things are moving and what's going on with things. Why are things going this way? Um, and the reason and the reason behind that is because there's fundamentals behind it, right? So there's stocks moving this. This thing is moved by stocks. Okay. Now, if you learn how to trade this, you don't need anything else in the forex world. Like, I guarantee you, because this shit makes so much money. Like, anybody who makes money in forex, like, makes a lot of money. I'm talking about real money. Is trading US 30, right? A lot of the people, I'm not gonna mention any names because I don't really care, but a lot of people that you guys probably know that do make money is probably trading US 30, right? Then the next one we're gonna move to is GBP. Any no questions on US 30?
That's it.
So all right. So next thing is GBP. I like GBP, bro, because it moves. I like how it moves. I don't know. Like, I see you guys see this? Like, it moves so predictable, I guess you can call it. GBP. So same thing with GBP, right? This is my lowest point marked, highest point marked. It touched my resistance so many times. So as of right now, on the 4 hour, let's put the 4 hour real quick. It's a little like weird. Another thing also I want to tell you guys, right? So you guys follow a lot of patterns when it comes to stock to trading. Did you know also the RSI patterns count too? If you see a double top on the RSI, it also counts. If you see a double bottom, it counts. So and so. A lot of people don't pay attention to the RSI, and they don't realize that, for example, here, right, we have in this, see, sure, quick. So right here, for example, right, and then here, it could possibly go up like that, right? Because you see, like, it's like making like almost like a double bottom. So RSI also has resistance and support. A lot of people still don't understand that. These are things I haven't put in my basic course, but on the next one I will. RSI has support and resistance, guys. So you guys can follow, just like you follow the price, it's on there. But as always, my favorite here has to be this little divergence that we got here. So my take on GBP JPY is rejected that resistance a lot of times. I think it's gonna drop and breathe a little bit. If not, it could follow this double bottom and go all the way to the top. But let's see. Right now, let me go to the 1 hour. It looks like it looks. We could probably do a line runner. Yeah. It's almost like kind of like US 30, kind of moves like US 30. So right now we have also a trend line right here. Move this a little bit up. So same thing. Let me go to gold real quick. Let's take a look at gold. Gold. I haven't been trading gold a lot. I used to trade gold a lot, but I haven't been trading gold lately. After like its little drop here, I haven't had the chance to trade it. So let me see here. All right, so gold on the 4 hour. Gold on the 4 hour rejected off 1824, 883. Try to touch my bottom, which is 1802, but look where it closed. So right now, gold looks like it's on an uptrend back up. If we throw the fib, it's right at my little golden level right there. It's right at the 50%. So if somebody was to have entered gold, it would have been here. and rode it all the way up. So we throw the fib on gold right now. Gold could continue going up. It just depends on the. It definitely respected the 50% on the fib. So I always take trades on GBP, gold mostly, and even on US 30. For those some people that don't know, of the 50% on the fib. Okay, so the way that will work is exactly like this. So once level gets to the 50% retracement, which it did here, I would sell it right back down. All right. We don't have any news. Like, okay, a lot of the first week of trading in January on the signals, I think we caught like 8,000 pips, which is more than enough. It's more than what people catch on their fucking, on like 2 months. So the first week we did great. The last 2 weeks have been choppy, and the reason before that, because of that, is obviously I trade a lot of US 30, and remember what has been going on for the past few weeks, right? The election, the what do you call it? The inauguration of the president, all that thing. All those things cause stocks to be uneven. All those things cause no second. All those things cause US 30 to be on a choppy road. So from now on, I don't expect a lot of choppiness. We're still gonna get that because we're in the middle of a pandemic, and any news like a new virus strain and things like that can affect the market, right? So what I want you guys to understand when you're trading, GBP, gold, and US 30 is the things that are going on around the world right now, right? All those things affect the market. However you look at it, all those things affect the market. So whether it's the pandemic, a new strain, or stimulus, any of those things, they affect the market. So especially US 30. US 30 is so volatile because anything that happens in the US, I know some people are not in the US, but anything that happens in the US, it's any little thing, a new strain, boom, it drops. If you guys were ever trading US 30 on November, it was insane. Every time a president would win a certain state, it would shoot up 100 points. Every time so-and-so would win a certain state, it would shoot down 100 points. It was insane. So what you got to be careful with is, like I said, look at the stocks that we got here. Look at the, look at the market, how it is right now. Look at the news around you. You don't gotta be a news freak, right? So you don't have to be looking at the news 24/7 to know what's going on. But just pay attention and be cautious of it. On Sundays is my research day, right? So I use Sundays before the market opens as my research day. That's when I draw my lines. That's when I do my research on where is the market heading, so that it doesn't catch you by surprise. A lot of people don't do this, right? A lot of people don't do this on Sunday, and that's why you get caught by surprise when, for example, I got people that are buying here, right, expecting this thing to go up, and don't realize it might go down, right? So you have to know in what direction is the market going, so that you can adjust to it before it starts. Don't get caught by surprise. All right. You guys have any pairs you want us to look at other than GBP, gold, and US 30? Oh, let's see shit. It doesn't let you unmute yourself. My bad. Hold on. I think I pressed that by accident. Okay, try it now.
Yeah, it works.
What's up, bro?
Alex, just before we move on to another pair, I had a question about trade management. So when you're entering a trade, how do you figure out your stop loss and even your first take profit?
Okay, so when it comes to trade management, right? The stop loss, the first thing you're gonna figure out is the stop loss, right? That's the first thing that we're gonna figure out. So, for example, let's go ahead and take a look at this trade right here. If we were to take this trade today, we would put the stop loss way above this zone right here. And the reason I have this zone right here is because of this right here. You see how it stops here, then goes back up, retests the zone, then come back down. This is a little zone right here. So I would put my stop loss above this zone. I'll give it enough wiggle, let's say 40 points. Okay. So now we got the stop loss. Now you're talking about we're 40 points into the stop loss. Okay. How do you figure out your entry there? Okay. What I recommended on the course, and it's what I always tell people to follow, especially as a beginner. Okay. 2 to 3% of your account. So if you have an account that is $10,000, right? 2% is 200, 3% is 300. Okay. So what do? You divide that 300 bucks, let's say, right? 300 bucks, and you divide it by the 40-point stop loss. Now you have an entry of 7.5. You can just do 7, okay? So, which is in US 30, that's 0.07. Don't get confused with a 7.0 because you'll blow your account in a second. So 0.07, that's your entry right now, right? So now we got the stop loss. Make sure you put in the stop loss where it makes sense. Like, don't put stop losses here just because you guys want to enter, just because some people are smart. So some people will do, if I put my stop loss here, I can divide 300 by 20 and that will give me a bigger entry. No, because then what's going to happen is it's going to hit your stop loss and then it's going to go the other way, right? So you want to put your stop loss in a place where it makes sense, not where you want to be. Okay, so now we got the stop loss and you have your entry. How do you do your take profits, right? So the take profits, like I said in the course, give me a second. I do it based on the fib levels. That's the best way to do it, okay? Now this fib that I'm about to draw is not in the beginner's course, okay? It will be in the advanced course, but let me see how I can set it up. But you guys can just copy the more or less the percentages. I'm going to explain why those percentages are like that in the advanced course. So right here, right, we enter the 50% on the fib. My first TP would be this 38%. My second TP would be this 25%. My third TP would be this 10%. And then my swing would be this 0%. If it reaches the 10%, like 9 times out of 10, it's going to hit the swing. And then you can possibly let it ride, right? So just close partials on the way down. You start closing partials.
But how did you know to draw from that point up there at the top, the fib? Why did you select that point?
I kind of look for an impulse. You know, there's no right way to draw the fib, right? There's absolutely no right way to do it. I just like to look at it from an impulse, like what caused this downtrend. Remember, the fib only works when you're in a downtrend or uptrend. Don't ever do fib when you're consolidating because it's not going to work for you. So I like to figure out where did this downtrend start? So for me, it started up here. And then where did it end? Over here in this little area right here. So from top to bottom, obviously if it's backwards, we do it backwards, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Give me a second.
Cool.
Okay.
So where the red candle is now, the last red candle there, where would your stop be if you entered right now, let's say? So at the bottom of that red candle is where the price is, right?
If I entered right now, right? So if I enter right now, I'll still put my stop loss up here.
Okay, got it.
Just because that would be a risky entry though. I rather much enter like around this area right here where it touched my zone.
Okay.
And I would have entered, and I had this zone drawn, and I would have entered this trade, right? But the reason I didn't enter this trade is because the market was closing. I never ever enter trades when the market is closing because one, there's volatility. So you know what could have happened? This thing could have wicked up, hit my stop loss, and then came down. So it's too much volatility. Two, if I accidentally leave the trade running, that leaves me vulnerable to market gaps, right? So let's say we enter this trade, you got stuck on the trade, and then all of a sudden, today 6 p.m., you're over here, you're down here, like or up here. Because let's say you enter a buy, right? You're up here. And let's say you enter a sell, you'll be like up here. So what I'm trying to say is like it could go the opposite way. It could also go your way. You could have entered a sell and then it gaps up and all of a sudden you're down here and then good for you, you made some money, but you don't want to leave things to chance. You want to make sure that you are at the end of the day, this shit is basically gambling, right? But educated gambling.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you're not guessing what's going to happen. And so you don't want to leave things to chance of, it might do this. That happened to me once with Tesla and I lost like $10,000 because I thought Tesla was going to just blow up. And Elon Musk came out over the weekend and one tweet destroyed Tesla. One little tweet. All he had to say was, I think he said something about the information that we're going to give on this event is we're going to give the information, but the things that we're going to show is not going to come out till a few years from now. And then people were anticipating that information to come out. So that destroyed my thing, right? So same thing. If you were on sales right here, right now, and over the weekend, Biden says, we are going to approve a 10 trillion stimulus. You are done. You are done. Like this thing is gonna wake up in heaven.
Yeah,
so,
you don't want to hold overnight, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I never hold anything over. I usually never hold anything over a day period. But if I do, like the other day, I did held US 30 for 2 days. If I do, it's because I'm in a drawdown. I don't trade with stop losses because I have a different technique and different things that when I show the beginner. My technique is not for beginners, so I don't trade with stop losses. I do something called stacking. So that's different. So
what size account? I guess that's in the advanced course, but what size account do you need for big drawdowns like that? Like 50 grand?
You're going to need big boy accounts. You're going to need, depends. Like my drawdowns are usually like 20%. So 100K, you'll be drawn down 20K, 30K.
Holy, wow.
Yeah.
That's
so you might need a big boy account, just because for me it works and it's a different strategy than what a lot of people use. I don't look at these things like Forex. I see them like stocks. So it's like investing and then just waiting. That's what you do with stocks anyway, right? You invest and then you wait.
Yeah.
Same thing I do here. Same thing. So, but the thing with Forex is you better have a big account to back it up. And a lot of beginners don't, which is fine. So as a beginner, you shouldn't be looking to hold, you shouldn't be looking to let things ride. You should be looking to get in and out, taking as little trades as possible, right? So what I recommend is taking at least 3 trades a day, max. When I started, I used to open, like, you look at my MetaTrader and I'll have like 100 trades in a day because I would get in and out, right? I wouldn't
That's like Gabriel. That's what Gabriel was doing.
Yeah. No, but Gabriel was scalping, so his was good. When you're scalping, when you're scalping, you're allowed to do that, obviously, because that's your strategy. But I'm talking about as a trader, like if you're trying to like catch bigger fish, you don't want to get in and out. You want to let it ride. You want to let the trade play out for you. Okay. So as a beginner, I will be doing that all day. Now if I do 2-3 trades a day, that's a lot. Like I do 3 trades and that's it. I don't need big, like a lot of little trades, because as long as I catch a nice big one, like I think what was our signal on was it Friday, that US 30 signal? Like, let's say I would have sent a bunch of little trades during the week, right? Just that US 30 signal on Friday would have ate up all of those. That shit just like skyrocketed. You get me? So I think it was let me see the signal. 30,950. It was like right here or something like that. It was on Friday, it was the 21st. Yeah, I think it was like right here. So what I'm saying is you don't have to do a lot of trading, like just focus on hitting nice swings. Like right here, like I told you, I think it was John, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will take the trade up to 50% and then just wing it down. Now, obviously control, right? So close partials. Do you know how to close do a lot of you guys know how to close partials?
So I remember that what you said was to create 3 trades and then close one at every take profit, correct?
No, so what you do is you create one trade and then you start closing mini trades inside of it.
Partials, yeah.
Yeah, and the way you do that is you go to the MetaTrader, okay? And let me see if I can make a demo on this one so I can show you guys what I'm talking, because a lot of people, for some strange reason, be opening like 5 entries. And it's like, watch, I'm gonna show you something. Hold on. Okay, so when you go to MetaTrader, you click trade, right? Let's say you open a trade at 5.0 and you click, I don't know, buy. When you slide to the left and you click check mark, like if you're gonna close the trade, okay, on the top, you're gonna see your entry was 5.0, let's say. You're able to edit that. You're able to edit that and put 1.0, 2.0, and that's how much it will close. So if you edit that and you put, for example, 2.0, it's gonna close 2.0 and it's gonna let 3.0 ride. You get me? So that's how you do the TPs. Let me see if I can share my screen real quick. Hold on.
And are you ever using the 5-minute, or you're only using 15-minute to exit and enter a trade now?
I look at the 15-minute to enter the trade. Like I never go down to the 5-minute. But sometimes, like here, I would, just because I like to minimize it. Like see where exactly the price reject. You get me? Like kind of you see this right here?
To draw your zones like tighter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I would do it.
Okay.
Let me share. Hold on. Let me see if this works. I've never tried this before, but let me see if it works.
Yeah, because on a 15-minute time frame, you're in the trade for at least 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, right?
Yeah. I mean, it depends how fast the candle goes down. I've had you can have a candle that goes down really fast. So, for example, on this demo, real quick, right? I'm gonna open this BTC. I don't know which way it's going, but so I'm gonna open 5.0, right, on this demo. I'm gonna click on buy. Okay, so let's say I was at TP1 or TP2. Okay, how would I close partials? You slide, you go to the check mark, and you see how up here it says 5.0. Okay, if you didn't want to close the full 5.0, you can just simply go here and choose to close 2.0. It's going to close that part of the trade for you. Okay, so you see it closed here, and it's going to let the rest ride. So now let's go. You hit TP1. Now we're going to go to TP2. Same thing. Slide. Now you want to close 2.0. And now you got 1.0 left. Okay, so now TP3 it hit, and then you just close everything. You don't have to open multiple entries. You can split one big entry into multiple entries. Now, that does not mean, okay, open a bigger entry, like a big entry. That still means you still got to do the same risk management. You're just closing partials as you go. You get me?
Yeah, makes sense.
So, we got US30. What other pairs do you guys look at? Like other than obviously I only trade those 3, but what other pairs do you guys look at that you guys would like me to look at?
Euro USD or Euro USD?
Euro USD. Let's take a look at that. All right, so Euro USD, right? So I'm gonna analyze this. I will do 4 hour, and then beautiful. All right, so Euro USD. We've also analyzed this bad boy. Nice zone right there. Right? This is on the 4 hour, by the way. So you remember when you're analyzing things, you want to start from the 4 hour to the 1 hour and then 15-minute. But you want to look at the bigger picture to see what's going on. Now, here, there's another one where it's apparently rejecting. Now let's go to the 1 hour real quick to see what's going on.
Yeah. Do you ever look at the candle patterns, like tweezer tops and bottoms in your decision making?
I barely look at that shit. Barely, because price action is what really tells me like in what direction is the is it going? But I do look at double bottoms and things like that, double tops. I look at head and shoulders, all those things I look at. But like, I don't get deep into it. That's why in my course, right? I like to like basically teach you the simple way. No, right? Like if you look at other people's shit, bro, they have so much shit in their course that it confuses people. Like people like just get confused of so much information. You don't need all that to trade. If you have to trade constantly looking at every single candle and what it's doing and that, like you're gonna go crazy. It's very simple. Like I said, the market is simple. It's just going. Sometimes like you don't even need to be trading with red and green candles. I like to look at it this way, just because I like to see what buyers and sellers are doing. But you don't really have to even trade with this. Like you can just trade black and white candles and just see where price action is doing. Okay, so here, for example, on Euro, Euro's going up. Okay, but there's a zone right here, so it might reject off of here, come back down to the zone. Let's look at that. Let me see the RSI real quick. RSI is divergent. RSI is divergent. So you have to follow, in this case, you will have to follow the RSI, what it wants to do. What it wants to do with Euro. Let's take a look at the 15-minute real quick, see what's going on. Yeah, see that? Zone, rejected. Let me take a look.
That's a tough one. How do you know to long or short it?
Yeah, I mean, it's rejecting off of there. So I would short it. I am shorting it right now. Actually, I have an account with Euro right now on sales. But I would short it just because of these nice rejections that you see here into the zone.
So like more than 3 rejections, and then you're going to short it. How many is 3 really there, right? 3 main rejections.
It doesn't really matter because, for example, if this would have done like a nice little double top, I would have shorted it. But now here we have like 3 confirmations. So now for sure, for me, this is a for sure short. Anything can happen though, but there's definitely a zone in the middle. We got 3 nice tries that I tried to break up the zone. So it could, RSI is not low, obviously. RSI is up there. Look at this nice little impulse. So if we measure this with the fib, nice little impulse. It's still up there. So for me, it could retrace back to here, to the 50. Right. So remember, I'm always looking for it to retrace back to the 50 because it needs to breathe. So right now it hasn't done any retracements. If you look at it, it's been going up. Now here found that struggle, So I'm looking for this thing to come back down here.
So would you long it at the 50% if it dropped down to the 50%?
If it drops down to the 50%, yeah. Yeah, because that would be my entry to long it. Okay. Right? But I'm looking right now to short it because I know it has to breathe right now. Again, I'm not very familiar with Euro, so a lot of the things that might happen now is we have to look at what is going on with Euro news-wise, right? So that we can analyze what's going on with Euro here. So because remember, Euro is very, very news oriented. So I'm not very familiar to what's going on with the Euro news. So we will have to see to analyze what could possibly happen here. But as of right now, it's looking like a short to me. A lot of rejections. Look at all these wicks, right? Like I tried to pull through here. So this zone right here definitely has a lot of rejections.
And how often are you trading in the middle of the zone? Like right now, that 50% is in the middle of the zone.
What do you mean?
Like some people only trade off the top or the bottom, the support or resistance zone lines. But like you're saying, if you came down to 50%, which is the middle of the zone, you would long it.
Yeah, and it all depends really also on my confluences, right? So also if I get here and RSI, for example, this thing comes crashing. I'm gonna give you an example, right? RSI is oversold. I'm buying that thing. I'm super buying that thing because I have confirmation on top of other confirmations that I use as well. But I would be looking for, so that's one of the things I would be looking for. This thing to fall down, crash, and kind of go into the oversold territory on the RSI.
Okay.
That would give me confidence to go into a long. Remember, the best times to sell is when it's overbought, and the best times to buy is when it's oversold. So that gives you a higher game of probabilities. That gives you a higher probability on your side of not, fucking up, I guess you can say it, because when the RSI is oversold, chances are it's gonna go up. It's a no-brainer. Especially then, then you look for
Because
divergence.
right now the RSI is in the middle. It's just chopping in the middle, right?
Exactly. So right now I wouldn't even do anything yet. I would just wait. If you
Okay.
didn't catch the long here, which will be the right place to catch it, right? This will be the right place to catch that long.
Mhm.
Because you got 1, 2, 3.
Right. Resistance. Yeah, it's your
Yeah.
resistance there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hold on.
And you don't use volume, right, when you're analyzing.
I don't use volume at all, bro. At all.
Okay.
It's like
One less thing to worry about.
yeah, exactly. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. All right, my bad, guys. All right, so yeah, no, bro, I don't look at volume. There is this indicator that's really good with volume that goes good with volume. It depends on what pair you're looking at. Like I find that volume works really well with gold,
Okay.
right? But I find that it doesn't work well with US 30. So it all depends, Remember, this is all we are as forex traders, we are in a constant struggle to figuring shit out, because there is unless you work for the bank and you're the owner of the bank and you say, hey, today we're gonna sell everything, you don't know what's gonna happen,
Yeah.
So what I have found for me is there's this gold session volume thing. Here you go. That works
wow.
pretty well. If you guys trade gold, then I'll recommend this. You see how price kind of came down here and it kind of made a reaction here. Same thing. So it's pretty good. I recommend it. But I don't recommend it for anything else. For US 30 does not care about this shit at all. It will not respect it at all.
Okay. What
Right.
about the 9? What about the 9 and the 20 MAs?
Yeah, I use that. But I trade a lot of price action first. I only look at the MAs for confirmation.
Okay.
Okay. Because MAs will trick the eye a lot. So I only look at those MAs for confirmation. Like the other day I took a gold trade, this right here. And I can tell you it's this right here because I remember the MAs crossing right here. So let's see if I'm right. Oh, right here. Look at it right here. So it's like the MAs are tricky. I use them, I love them, but they're tricky. Like for example, look at this right here. It's crossing down, right? So technically price should be going down, right? So the MAs, I like to use them on the bigger time frames.
Yeah, because it's such a lagging indicator, right?
What?
It's a lagging indicator.
It's not that it's lagging, is that it works best on bigger time frames because on the 5 minute and the 15 minute it has so much noise, right? Because all this is noise. Look how many times it crosses. So you want to use it on the 1 hour, a bigger time frame, to be able to see clearly. Like here, look at this bad boy coming right back down. So gold might drop in the future because remember, each candle here is 4 hours. We got the 1 hour. However, look, the 1 hour is contradicting, right? So it might go up before it drops. But I like to look at it like this because when you go down to the 15 minute and the 5 minute, it gets like really noisy, So that's how I like to do it.
Got it.
But
I got
most
a
of the
question,
time,
bro.
it's always what?
I got a question real quick, bro. So, you know, we mostly trade, you know, volatile pairs like GBP, JPY, gold, US 30, and that's why we like them, right? So, but there's one thing that I noticed is that since they're so volatile, you know, the stop loss needs to always be a little bit, you know, longer because, you know, you don't want to get stopped out and then the
Yeah.
trade go your way.
Yeah.
So you know, it's a question that's hard for everybody because I mean that's, you know, it's for every trader. It's hard to know where to put the stop loss, but you know, what's your take on that?
On what? Where to put the stop loss?
Yes, when the market is so volatile that it could stop you out easily.
So the other day I sent a remember that US30 trade that I sent sales, and then I sent another message saying to get out of sales immediately because the market's gonna be volatile. So you kind of have to know when the market is volatile. And the reason why I knew the market was gonna be volatile then is simply because of the presidency, right? Of the inauguration day. So I looked at the stocks, and I think one of the stocks had done pretty well the night before and things like that. But the inauguration was my indicator that it was going to be really volatile. That's why I said get out and wait, and then it dropped. So I was right with the prediction that it was going to drop, right? But I knew there was going to be volatility. So what would have happened there if you guys wouldn't have gotten out, it would have hit your stop loss and they continue going down. So it's really hard to measure. There's no way to measure the volatility, right? There's no way for us to know that it's going to be volatile as hell. It's just like I told you, US30 runs mostly on stocks and what's going on with those stocks. So you have to get informed of what's going on. And then also United States news, stimulus, all that stuff. That is what really drives US30 like crazy. When stimulus news comes out, US30 moves. Because when stimulus news comes out, stocks move. And that makes US30 move. So you guys, that's basically what makes it volatile. Even gold is super volatile. Gold has crazy wicks.
What I noticed, Alex, is like a lot of your stop losses are 50 points, like in your signals, usually like 40, 50 points. 50
yeah,
points.
with US30, I like to give it 40 to 50 points. I did in one trade that I sent. I think I used 30 points and it hit the 30 points and then it went all the way down like I said it would. So I like to stick to at least 50 points, and it's a lot, right? So 50 points in US30 is a lot, but in reality it isn't. If you guys are using the right the proper risk management, it's not. Because for me, okay, obviously the size of my account, okay, is different. So for me, I use standard lot, which is 1.0. For me, 50 points is 5 Gs. I am okay with losing 5 Gs because my account has like 300K, let's say, on it, right? So the percentage is not the same. Now, if you are in a $10,000 account, okay, and you have a 0.5 lot, you're going to have a problem with a 50-point stop loss because that is 25% of your account, right? So you got to stop looking at, at the potential profits and start looking at the potential risk. So the profits is always going to come. And you know what happens to a lot of you guys, right? That has happened to me, right? So let's say you enter a trade, okay? And you entered with a big size leverage that you're not supposed to, right? Because your account is small, but you're not supposed to, but you're hyped up because you want to make money, okay? The trade gets like right here, like it just started, and you're already selling. You're like, I'm out. Right? And then let's say you made $200 and you're like, okay, cool. I'm happy with $200. I made $200. Okay. But check this out. If you would have entered that same trade, okay, with a smaller amount, with a sizable amount to your account, you will be more confident in letting the trade run, right? So then you would be able to catch the whole whale, and then you would be able to catch more than $200 using a smaller lot.
Right.
Does it make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes perfect sense. So is it okay though to have like a 50-point stop and only a 25-point TP1?
No, I mean
No.
TP1, yeah, you could, but at the end of the day, your risk to reward has to be 1 to 2 or higher.
Okay. But
Right.
sometimes you can't get that, and you're happy to get like 1.5 even, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, sometimes. I mean, no. I always do 1 to 2. If I
Okay.
don't do 1 to 2, I'm letting my thing draw down until I do.
Okay. Got it.
But obviously, that strategy is completely different. But for
Yeah.
example, I'll give you an example of this trade right here. Right. So let's say we did enter here the zone.
Mhm.
Right. We put the stop loss right here. That would be only 40 points. But we can do 50 to give it a little leeway. Right. So that's perfect. Our target will be right here. So right there, you have a 1 to almost 4 ratio.
That's your TP1's all the way down there?
No, TP1 is right here.
Okay. TP1's 60 points. Got it.
Yeah, so TP1 is right there. But I don't even
1 to 1.
bro. If it hits TP1, I don't even most of the time I don't even care. Like I'm looking for TP2, TP3, and swing. So
Okay.
what I'm saying is you have to make the trade worth it for you, right? It does it have potential? Does it have potential to go all the way down here? Yes, it does, right? That's what you have to look for, the potential. You're not measuring at the moment, oh, I only want to close a TP1. If you want to close a TP1, that's a personal thing. That's up to you. But does the actual trade itself have potential to go all the way down here? It does,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And then that's how you measure your ratio. Your ratio is nothing but potential, risk to potential reward. So
Also, I noticed, sorry to interrupt. Also, I noticed a lot of your wins are like hitting TP2 at least.
yeah,
Most wins.
yeah. I mean, like I said, TP1 doesn't matter to me
Right.
unless I'm scalping. If I'm scalping, then and a lot of the signals that I send, if I don't send TPs, is because I'm either scalping or it's just like a risky trade where get what you can.
Okay.
But when I do send all TPs, I'm looking for that nice swing all the way up. So a lot of my trades, for me, TP1 is nothing. So I want to make sure that if I enter a trade, I'm at least hitting TP2, TP3, or even the swing.
Got it. Yeah.
A lot of times I don't even get to swing, bro. I don't even get to the swing. I always get to like TP3. Like if I do TP3 right there, I'm perfect. You know why? Because 50-point loss, 150-point gain. That's a 1 to 3 ratio. That's perfect.
That's amazing.
Let me give you a scenario on this trade right here. If you have a $10,000 account, right, you should be entering this trade with, let's say, $300 risk. Okay, $300 risk divided by 50, you have a $6 entry. Okay, 0.06, my bad. Okay, so 0.06, which is $6 times 154 points. That's $924 in one trade on a $10,000 account. That is 10% of the account in one trade.
That's sick.
Right? And if you lose it, you only risk 3%. This is a good trade right here. That's it. Right? So you don't want to risk it to get 50 to 50 because that's just like scalping it. And what I would do is as I go down, like if I hit TP2, my stop loss goes to like break even.
Right.
If I hit TP3, stop loss keeps moving down. You get me? As well as partials. So as it hits TP1, TP2, TP3, I'm closing partials all the way down. Okay.
Leo, what do you think now about the stop loss?
I like it. I like it.
If you listen, it's very simple. If you cannot, if the stop loss scares you, you're in it for too much. That it's very simple. Like think about it. 50 points. 50 points. The way you gotta think about it is look at one candle. Let's look at one candle. Like the average candle in US 30. The average candle is about 40 points here, right? So if you put your stop loss at 50, it's a reasonable amount. Okay, there's a lot of people that put it either way too much or way too tight. 50 points is a reasonable amount of stop loss in US 30. And again, if 50 points scare you, it's because you're going in on the entry with too much money that you shouldn't for your account. You should be going with, like I said, risking 2 to 3% of your account per trade. And when it comes to on a daily basis, you shouldn't be risking more than 5% on a day. Like if you lost more than 5% of your account, you got to stop trading for that day. So any more questions before we head off here? Market just opened. So let's look at GBP. US 30 is not going to open till 6 o'clock. So we'll figure out what that happens then. But we'll take a look at GBP, see what happens with GBP. Let's take a look at Euro real quick, which we were talking about. And there it is. There it is. I hope this shit melts all the way down here. I really do, because I have sales on this right now. So, but that's it for today, guys. So we'll see if I can set it up again for next Sunday night, more or less, same time, so we can all take a look at the market together and analyze it. That'll be great. All right.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you, man. It was awesome.
No problem. Take care, guys.
Yep, see you later.